Welcome to this video. My name is Christian from Being Premier, and one of the questions that I'm asking myself over and over again is, how is Deva going to return? We know that Deva might have escaped to the real world, but the latest trailers and some new plot details have me convinced she's coming back to Frill. But how? So, I've got a theory about a secret faraway tree in the real world and some new information. The actress, P.L. Donna, has said that the big question haunting us after the Season 2 finale is whether Deva can really escape from Frill without waking up in a hospital bed. It seemed like the first step, the town, or whatever controls it, is not letting go that easily. I'm convinced she's going to try to get back, but how can she return? Well, the faraway trees are the obvious answer, but the show has always been about twists and turns. I think those clues, combined with Donna's cryptic words about the town's connections, are going to lead Deva on a dangerous new quest. My guess is she will track down Victor's family, and here's where it gets really interesting. In the trailer, we see Deva in a house with a distinctive bottle tree, which also happens to be the same bottle tree that we have seen before. What if that bottle tree is a dormant faraway tree that we've seen in the trailer? What if Deva discovers how to activate it? This journey into the real world could be the journey Donna talked about, one that ultimately leads Deva right back to where she started. This is what the actress said. The world has more connections to other places, both internal and external, than we have known before. This directly supports our theory. It suggests that the existence of faraway trees or similar portals in the real world is potentially linked to the town. But let's dive into the real heart of the mystery, the faraway trees. These eerie portals are as captivating as they are confusing. We have seen them transport people across the town, sometimes to familiar locations, sometimes to terrifying unknown ones. But how do they actually work? So far, we've only seen the faraway trees move people to a destination, but what if they are a two-way street? What if there's a way to use them to return to a previous location, even to the real world? Elizabeth, who plays Donna, says the following. The journey is within and without, and how does the world enter in? This suggests that crossing back might be possible. And here's the kicker. In the trailer, we see a bottle tree in a house that Deva visits. I imagine it's the same house where we see the children in the drawings. It could be the same bottle tree that maybe Victor's sister escaped and created, and that way, she wants to return to maybe save her brother and her mom. This is a theory, but what if Victor's connection to the town is tied to this tree, to his family's path, or even to a ritual that can activate his power? Imagine this. Deva trying to figure out how to activate the bottle tree, stepping inside, and suddenly she's back in Frill, ready to confront the nightmare and rescue those she left behind. This theory opens a whole new set of possibilities for the show. Maybe there are more faraway trees hidden in the real world, each with a unique connection to the town and its mysteries. What if the nightmare entity is using these trees to lure people in or to influence events beyond the town's boundaries? Season 3 could finally reveal the reality about these mysterious portals, and the answer might be even more terrifying than we imagined. Elizabeth's words emphasize the idea of two distinct realities and the possibility of crossing between them. I'm not explaining it very well because I don't want to give too much away, but there are multiple levels to it, and it only gets more complex. Deva's journey in the real world could be the journey that ultimately leads her back to the journey within. This also hints at a complicated and layered mystery surrounding the town's connections to the outside world. The faraway trees might be more complex than we realize, with rules and triggers that are still unknown. Elizabeth also highlights the fascinating aspect of the show, the power of human connection. What I love about this show is that there's a lot of love among characters, different kinds of love, lost love, found love, love that's not working. We might see new relationships form, testing the boundaries of trust and love within the town. Existing relationships could be challenged by the town's pressure and escalating dangers, forcing characters to make difficult choices. Now we have love as a weapon. The nightmare entity might exploit the characters' love for each other, manipulating their emotions and turning their connections into weaknesses. Elizabeth's words about love as a weapon, especially in the context of the town's escalating dangers and the nightmare entity, are chilling. What if Fatima's pregnancy becomes a way for the nightmare entity to gain power or escape into the real world? The manipulation of emotions could truly break the town's residents. The nightmare might be playing a long game, patiently waiting for the right moment to strike and turn their love into a devastating weapon. Let's go back to David's journey in the real world. She's carrying Victor's lunchbox. These are the connections Donna talked about, threads that bind the town to the outside world. This quest for answers could be a mousetrap, a way for the nightmare entity to lure David deeper into its web, even outside the town's boundaries. She might think she's found freedom, but what if she's trading one prison for another? Another thing Elizabeth mentioned about different aspects and kinds of monsters is very intriguing. What if the monsters are not just mindless creatures, but rather reflections of the town's inhabitants? Imagine this: the nightmare entity feeding off fear, with those fears manifesting as the monsters we see. Each monster could represent a specific fear or dark aspect of a character's personality. This makes me really excited to see what the monsters will be in Season 3. We know from the trailer that one of the characters is hurting in the stomach, so maybe there's something inside. Adding to Donna's words about different aspects and kinds of monsters, the dangers coming in Season 3 have me seriously freaked out. We've already seen how relentless and unpredictable the monsters can be, but it sounds like things are going to get a whole lot worse. The word Titan really stands out. Maybe it's unintentional, but it suggests something massive, powerful, and unstoppable. Are we going to see any type of monster that's far larger and more terrifying than the ones we've encountered before? Imagine a creature that can break through the houses and ignore the talismans. Donna also talks about different aspects of kinds of monsters. This could mean a few things. The monsters are evolving, developing new abilities, perhaps becoming stronger, faster, or more evil. Maybe new monsters are coming. The town's influence might be creating a new type of creature, each with unique powers and weaknesses. In the trailer, we actually see the character of Jade fighting, maybe a monster or a person. This might be why. It's just a theory for now. I love Fromville and discussing theories about the show. A lot of the information that Elizabeth provided in that interview connects to the theory of how Deva is going to return. I imagine she's going to find a faraway tree in the real world and return to Frill. But what are your theories? Leave them in the comments below.